This short video is designed to help you level students for guided reading groups. I want to remind you of the components of balanced literacy and where they fall in the gradual release of responsibility model, or I do, we do, you do. Interactive read aloud is where the teacher models what good reading looks and sounds like and provides opportunities for students to talk about what they heard. Shared reading is all about the student and teacher reading together. Guided reading allows students to work through a piece of text at their instructional level in a small group, and the teacher provides instruction that supports deeper comprehension and connections to the text. Phonics, spelling, and word study teach the relationship between letters, sounds, and words, again, to support reading. Reading mini lessons are short, focused, and concise, and support independent reading. At the end of the day, we want students to be able to comprehend and analyze text on their own. Fontys and Pinnell have a letter-based leveling system that looks different than Lexile. While Lexile measures a book's difficulty level on a comprehension scale from low to high, Fontys and Pinnell's leveling is more complex and takes lots of factors into account when assigning levels. Know that every student has an instructional reading level and an independent reading level. When doing guided reading, the target is instructional. You'll notice that Fontys and Pinnell have lined out the progression of reading ability through each grade level. When you think about expectations, that's where you want students to be decoding and comprehending. The green highlights designate above expectations. The dark blue are at expectations. Light blue is below. And the orange colors designate that there might be some kind of intervention needed. Okay, how do I find a student's Fontys and Pinnell level? There are data recording sheets within the Guided Reading online resources, which provide an avenue to gather information on student reading behaviors so you can create guided reading groups. If you don't have access to the FMP online resources, there is a short video. How do I get the online resources to show you how to do that? It's actually the first in the series. You'll want to choose a couple of selections that will be designated for assessment. At a minimum, one at grade level expectation, above and below. Let me show you where those are. When you're in the online resources for Fontys and Pinnell, remember there's the tabs for each of the components of balanced literacy, and I happen to already be at guided reading, and I use the filter over here. You can filter to your grade level or the level you're looking for. I happen to be looking for an H. I've filtered. I'm looking at no ants, please. And remember that this is the lesson plan, this is the data recording sheet, and this is the electronic copy of the book. So if I go into the data recording sheet, an assessment pops up. And it's actually in two major parts. The major parts are oral reading and comprehension. And those are the two scores that you're going to need to decide whether a student is reading at an instructional or independent level with this selection. So you're going to want to administer the assessment, again, focusing on part 1, oral reading, and part 2, comprehension. You can certainly calculate fluency and reading rate. However, the accuracy, the oral reading accuracy, and comprehension scores are what will determine if the selection that you've administered to students is at the instructional or the independent. There are demos to administer these assessments, as well as a coding and scoring errors at a glance document. What you see on this slide are the scores that determine whether a student is reading at the instructional level or the independent level on a selected assessment or text from the Fountas and Pinnell online resources. Use all the information you gather to put groups together. It is best if you have students grouped together at similar levels. For example, if you're a fourth grade teacher, you might have a group of N, a group of P, and a group of M, like that. You may have to do more than one book to find the approximate level for students to begin receiving instruction. Remember, guided reading groups should be fluid, so feel free to move kids around until you find the right match. Look for the next video in this series called Choosing the Right Level and Genre.